Cinema 5D's NAB show coverage.
Sponsored by B&H, the professional sauce for all your video needs.
Hey Sebastian, how you doing? And everybody at Cinema 5D, okay? Here's what I'm gonna show you right now. This is what we call a C300 Recoil, but the Recoil is a new concept where basically the camera, as you can see, sits on your shoulder, and you can see my hands, I'm barely hanging on to this thing. The idea is that it's super light because the camera's where it's supposed to be, on your shoulder. You don't need any counterbalance, but the key to having a recoil is three things. You have to obviously have an EVF so that you can get your eye and see what you're doing. You have to have focus control, and this is what we call our tornado, and it's kind of an interesting device. Some people like operating it like this, some people like operating it like this. You can loosen this and it's completely pivotable, as well as on this side, which is the third component, which is camera control. So here I have iris, start, stop, menus, the whole deal. This is also pivotable. Now I'm going to show you, you can just as well put a DSLR in this same configuration, and essentially this tornado is nothing but a mechanical follow focus. If you look right in there, you can see it's just like any follow focus, except one thing that's great about it is there's no gearbox, so there's no play issues. It's literally a pin that goes into here that turns a pin in there, and there are no extra gears. There's just a one gear system. So it's kind of like a whip, but a lot more scientific because this cable is very rigid and there's a cable within a cable. Now, let's take a look at what makes the recoil interesting. If you loosen this lever here, there's two things. Let's take a peek over here. Now, this particular base plate, which is the C300 QR, is a unique base plate where this quick release plate goes on your camera, and you can actually eject your camera out of the base plate. So this is the base plate. And then I can, if I wanted to, I could remove this completely adjustable shoulder pad off, and I could stick it right on the bottom of the camera if I needed to like do a car shot, you know, where it takes a second to do it, where I wanted to just kind of get in the corner right up next to the glass. Or we have a tripod plate like in the old days, and you can snap this directly into the tripod plate, and you can have multiple tripod plates on all your different things, your slider, your Steadicam, your hi-hat, your tripod. And then here, when I snap this back in, it also has one of these on the bottom. So now you can put this entire system on your tripod or anything else. So it's kind of very versatile in that respect. I'm going to show you how you slide this back on. Now the other thing is you can position the camera wherever you need it to be on your shoulder so that the balance is straight on. The one thing we did really nice with the C300, which I think is pretty unique to us, was actually a very complicated part to make, is this cable that goes down to what we call a grip relocator. And this grip relocator, if you already own Zacuto hand grips, just goes right on your existing hand grips. So many of these parts you would already have with your existing Zacuto kit. If you have an EVF, if you have a mount, if you have a DSLR base plate like this one here, because this is a DSLR recoil, you're pretty much ready to go. All you need is a shoulder pad and a tornado. But this grip relocator has an actual board in it, and the board allows you to control this camera, and it also works with the C500. The only difference with the C500 is you actually have to buy this handle as an accessory because this handle used to be on the camera, came with it. But on the C500, it doesn't come with this handle. So I was going to show you this DSLR rig here, so I'm going to get Sue to come over here. And how do you pronounce your name? How do you pronounce your name? Your name, how do you pronounce it? Okay. We're just going to, is it okay if we get your shot of you? Is it okay if we get a picture of you?
I'm from China.
Perfect.
I can speak English.
Okay, you're doing a great job. Okay, so you can see on the DSLR version, turn this way a little bit. We've become the international distributor of this Oki box. And we have a little teeny bracket here that holds the Oki box so that when you turn this way, you can see these two buttons. Right now I have them set to iris control, so you can go iris up and down, which is awesome. You can also set them to ISO or whatever you want. The red button is your go button. So basically now, this has the three components you need like we talked about. It has camera control, focus control, and optical control. It's a recoil, just like any other recoil. Okay, FS100, really quick. What's neat about this, new ratcheting levers from Zacuto, all aluminum milled. What's great here is, and this is something people have been asking for, is 2 screws and a hot shoe mount. This thing is rock solid. This is what we call our Z rail. It's also NATO rail or Picatinny rail or red rail. So it's what the US government uses on machine guns. It's what red uses, and our jaws will work on any rails. It doesn't matter if it's red rail or anything. What's great about this is it's so solid you can pick up the whole camera. And now you have the ability to have an EVF mount on here. You have the microphone, and all on these rods you can put a million different things, lights and whatnot. See ya.